these really, really large energy users would never be able to get out of these programs what they paid in. It just wasn't possible based upon the amount of, this huge amount of energy that they were using. So they have been opted out. I don't want that to scare you. Throughout those 400,000 ComEd commercial customers, I think there are less than 100 of these customers that, are this large, so they've been opted out. But just wanted to make you aware that that has happened. The legislation also states that the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Program, which was run through the state of Illinois, are ending. And all public sector customers will be eligible for the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program offerings, which I believe will start in 2018. So that means our public school districts, park districts, government buildings, anything that, is taxpayer funded, which was previously not eligible for AirCare Plus or any other ComEd Energy Efficiency Program offering, will be now eligible. I think that AirCare Plus is going to be a great offering, especially for those public schools. And I know that I've talked to a number of our contractors in the past about, they've brought up park districts to me or golf courses that are owned by park districts with their clubhouses and things like that they've wanted to bring into the program, and they haven't been able to up to this point. But they will be in the future, and like I said, we believe that will be starting in 2018. The last thing that I want you to know about this is I showed you where Illinois was as far as how much money was being spent on the energy efficiency programs on the electric side, and we were at $293 million in 2016. This future energy jobs bill actually is going to bring the Illinois budget totals up to approximately $400 million. So that is a huge jump from 293 to 400. That's a lot of money that are going into these programs. Programs are going to be expanding. Budgets are going to be getting bigger. Measures are going to be expanding. So this is a great time of change, positive change, progress for these energy efficiency offerings. So what does that mean for us in 2017? And, it's going to mean the exact same thing in 2018 as well. AirCare Plus has been growing over the past few years. The program growth has definitely connected into customer interest, which has led to an increased customer demand. We get calls directly from customers now more than ever about the program. We also get calls from contractors who have their customers now are reaching out to them saying, hey, I heard about this AirCare Plus program. Can you do this for me? So we're getting calls from those contractors as well. So the word is spreading. The new legislation, like I just told you, is also equaling energy efficiency program growth. And all of those things put together are leading to increased performance expectations for our contractors. I know that I told you all not too long ago that there are a couple of different ways that our program team can run this program. We can run the AirCare Plus program with a very large amount of contractors that are not really individually each doing that much work, or we can keep our contractor network small and tight and work with contractors that are doing a ton of work, that are really dedicating a technician to this program, that really have their sales staff out there working this program and sharing this with customers and with potential customers, using it as a sales tool to bring in more customers. I personally, and I believe I can speak for the rest of our team as well, in saying that we would prefer to run this program with our small, close-knit, tight network of contractors and having each and every one of you out there, working this program and bringing in KWH savings. But, if it's able to continue that way, or if we have to bring in more contractors, it's completely up to our contractor network and how they're working in the program. So let's move forward to our customer qualifications, which is, basic AirCare Plus 1. You first have to know who you can bring in to the program before, actually putting the effort into selling it. So site approval is something that you should always complete first. It is a pre-qualification step, and the administrator will add and enroll the site into the portal. An AirCare Plus team member will confirm that it is a ComEd customer and then we'll go ahead and approve it. We prefer that the account number is entered in at that time. If you're not able to enter in the account number into the portal at that time, we can certainly attempt to look it up by name or address. And if we have any issues, we'll just reach out to you and talk to you about that. Now, you may be wondering, why would we need to check that it's a ComEd customer? I mean, I just showed you a map of ComEd territory. You know what ComEd territory is, so you would assume that everyone within that territory is eligible for these energy efficiency programs. But there are a few communities that have municipal electric service in the incorporated areas of their communities, and they are not eligible for the ComEd energy efficiency program. Those communities are Batavia, Geneva, Naperville, St. Charles, Winnetka, and then further out west, Rochelle and Rock Falls are two other communities that also have municipal electric service. There are exceptions to that rule because, as I said a few moments ago, these communities have municipal electric service in their incorporated areas. So as towns grow, especially Naperville, right, that has grown by leaps and bounds, there are some unincorporated areas or areas that are outside of that actual municipal service territory, so they are ComEd customers. I know that all of you should have or probably have seen our Fox Valley Christian Church case study that is located. You can find that in the document section of the portal if you haven't seen it. That's a really nice case study for a church that's located in Batavia. It's Batavia street address, but it's actually unincorporated Blackberry Township. So there definitely are exceptions to this rule. If you have questions, you can always ask the customer for a copy of their electric bill, and then you'll be able to see if it's coming from the city of Geneva or if it's coming from ComEd. And if maybe you're talking to a facilities manager and they don't handle the ComEd bill, accounting handles that, then you can also always reach out to Shira, and she would be happy to check to see if that's a ComEd customer for you as well. So keep that in mind as you're selling. Once we know that the site qualifies, then we need to know if the unit qualifies. So if we know that they're a ComEd commercial customer, then what we're looking for are air-cooled units that are 3 ton and up. Should be either a rooftop unit, a package rooftop unit, a split system, or a heat pump. We don't see heat pumps very often, especially in this part of the nation, but they are definitely out there and they will qualify. So if you have those two things put together, then that gives you a qualifying AirCare Plus customer. Now, when it comes to AirCare Plus projects, customers can come in from a variety of different pathways. Obviously, the largest pathway, which is the one that we're focusing on today, is projects originating from AirCare Plus contractors. We are happy to have your current customers come into the program. We've had a lot of contractor current customers come into the program, but you do need to keep something in mind, and that is that if you're working with a customer that you have been maintaining their units, for however many years, and you've been doing that quarterly, and your technicians do a really good job, and those units are very well maintained. They may not be the best company to bring in to the AirCare Plus program for the tune-up measure, because there are tune-up measure qualifications, which we will go into in a little bit. But if you've been maintaining that unit really well and it's already optimized to be the best it can be, it's going to test in too high to qualify for that tune-up. It certainly does not mean, even if it does test in too high, you can still bring them in for economizer measures or thermostat replacement or modification measures, but I do just want you to keep that in mind. I think a lot of contractors sometimes come into the program thinking, I'm just going to go to every single one of my PM clients and I'm going to do AirCare Plus while I'm doing their tune-up. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it works great. I mean, with cottonwood flying and all the things that are going on in the environment, maybe that unit hasn't been looked at for 9 months on the air conditioning side. Sometimes they do qualify, but sometimes they don't. So I do just want you to keep that in mind, to think about the unit history, the maintenance it's received, how old the unit is. Those are things that you're going to want to keep in mind when selling the tune-up and sending technicians out there to complete the tune-up. If I were in the shoes of a sales or account manager for an HVAC commercial contractor, which I have been in those shoes previously, the first thing that I would do with AirCare Plus is reach out to every single person that ever turned me down for a maintenance agreement. So I quoted them a maintenance agreement, and they told me no for whatever reason. Maybe there was another company that was less expensive. Maybe they didn't see the value in maintenance and just decided that they would rather pay when there's a service issue instead of paying for maintenance. There's a bunch of reasons that someone could turn you down, but that file drawer would be the first file drawer that I would go to share this program. So other participation pathways, you know that we do direct program outreach. We have 2 outreach specialists now reaching out to customers. There's also utility representative outreach, and then we hear directly from customers as well. So as we move into the AirCare Plus measure offerings, I have all of our